Okay, today we're going to learn the halacha of how to kasher the counters and the tables. So we're going to start with the counters. It says in Tur Siman Tov Nun Aleph. En chiluk ben kle eitz o even o mateches. Kulam dinom shove lahatiran ba'agola. So there's three shittas. We're going to talk mainly now on the stone counters. That's what we're going to focus on. If you could kasher them or not, there's three shittas. The one shitta of the Tur, he brings that there's no difference between if it's clay etz or made out of wood or made out of iron or metal ware or made out of stone. They're all equal. The same thing you could kasher the wood or the iron, the metal through hagola, through hot boiling water. You could kasher also the stones. According to this, if you want to kasher your counters made out of stone, you could pour on them hot boiling water. That's one shita. Then you bring the shita of a harav yitzchok misimpono. The we're going to talk about the klei avonim. What's going to get to us? The counters made out of stone. Daila and b'shtifa. According to this, b'chal, you don't even need to make a to pour on it hot boiling water. All you could do is just wipe them off with the water. Shtifa, wash them off, wipe them off, and they're kosher. They don't, according to them, they don't absorb anything, so they're kosher. Then there's a third sheet that most machmir Rav Hai gone. It says Rav Hai, the klei avonim shenishtamshem b'roitchem. If you use them during the year with hot water, there's enlam takona ba'agola. You cannot fix them, kasher them with boiling hot water. The domi leklei cheres. You compare the klei avonim, and the Alter Rebbe explained the different klei cheres, klei avonim. Klei cheres is something you process through the heat, made a clay, made a kli out of it. Klei avonim, you take a pure stone from the earth and you make out of it counters. It doesn't go to the process of any process in a fire. There's a difference. So Rav Hai go and compare the klei cheres, the one that goes through the process of putting it under the fire, making a kli out of it, or stone that doesn't go to that process. The same thing by him. Something you cannot kasher. Klei cheres, according to him, you cannot kasher your stone counters. So the taka, you go on the street, you hear people say, you could kasher, you cannot kasher. Everybody has his own opinion. So there's the three opinions right here. Now the Beis Yosef brings, it says, well, before the Beis Yosef, so the Tours concludes, Rav Alfas Hishva Kulam, meaning according to the Alpha, to the Rif, all of them are equal. Klei etz, klei matchos, the stone, you could machshir them all. So the Beis Yosef says over here, v'chen kosav harosh, v'chen das harambam, v'chen noag b'hoilom. So like this, the Beis Yosef says many times. He takes the three poskim, Rif, Rambam, v'Rosh, wherever the two out of three saying, he follows them. He goes by the majority of those three. The two out of those three major poskim saying one thing, he follows them. Over here, all three saying the same thing. For sure, he's following them, not the Shlomo of High Goins. According to this, you could machshir your counters with hot boiling water. It's like klimatchos. You could machshir it with hot boiling water. There's no need to put any hot stone, hot iron on them to ruin it. You don't have to do that. Hot water, it's enough. Now, but MSC, sometimes even you don't even need this. I'm going to speak about it in a minute. There's another halacha in Tov Nun Aleph, halacha chof. It says, Hashulchones v'ateves shematznim b'hem oichelim kol hashana regilim la'aros alem roitchin. It doesn't say you have to regilim. That's the minhag. They do that on the tables, on the places where you put the food. No, during the year. Why? Why? It's a cold food. Why do you need to machshir them? Just wipe them off. It's a lefishalif amim nishpach amorok menagdere l'soichen. Sometime you could pour onto the, whether it's the counter, the tables, you could, or wherever you keep the food, you can maybe pour hot spill, some hot soup or hot food. That's why you need to do hag-olet. So the Bach brings over here. The Bach says only. It's like this. He says from mashma, from some poskim, that whether you keep it always cold or whether or not you constantly need to kasher them with hot water. He says, "V'lo nehira." He says, "No." Ela yilma sos davka b'mokem shematzim sham oichelim tzorich hechsher. Halav hochi and tzorich hechsher. Only with places you put sometime hot water, you could still. That's what you have to. If you have a place that you don't put over there hot food, you don't have to. Okay, that's not the punchline. The punchline of it, the Kaf Chaim brings with Citadel Maisa. Nobody will see. I mean, as far as I know, people don't go to the table where they eat and pour hot water on the table. I don't see people doing that. And Emma says they are right. They don't have to. The Kaf Chaim says it's like this. V'zeu l'chumra ba'alma. This halacha brought out on Shulchan Aruch is that that's l'chumra ba'alma. Ki en nishbach ala shulchan shoichlim olav. Ki miklei sheni. Even if there's something going to spill, you don't bring the big pot to the table. You're really going to steal from the serving pot, from your own, from your own plate, from your own bowl. He says, Memele, he says, it's klisheni or klishlishin. To b'choim klisheni atzmo is plukta in maflid or mafliya. So machlokes b'chal, if you should be concerned about that. Because of some Shulchan Aruch, the royal is all lechatchila. Lechatchila, you should really go to this machshe, your table. But the evet ba'adocha ba'al masagi. But the evet, even you have concern, maybe you spilled on the table hot food. Even you wipe it up, it's enough. But yeah, ken. That's the punchline what the Kaf HaChaim is saying over here. B'shulchana shel eitz shalonu. Most of the table is made out of wood. Shen oichlim alem kim alei mapa. We usually eat on the table. Most people eat have a tablecloth, a table cover. And tzorich shum hechsher. You don't need to do any. You don't have to pour on your tables. He says, "Rak nikui v'hadocha min adover adobu kalem be'ein." Obviously, if something you clean it, no, there should be sticky on them, but you cover it anyway, so there's no chashash. According to this, by the way, most people also by the counters, they don't put anything straight under. They have some kind of cloth, some kind of something they put. But if somebody wants a vehicle on the counters, especially what a lot of people do, I know they buy covers on them. So if you could do the posher to spill on them, pour on them hot water, hot boiling to machshir them, or you could posher cover them. Anyway, the whole year you don't put a real food on the counters, on the stone counters. You have something between the pot and the counter. You have always something there in between them. So if you want to just cover them, some people put the towel the whole Pesach and then they take it off and wash it, and some people buy some plastic covers and then. So, but the most you have to do if you want to be machmir, it's pour hot water. You don't have to do anything more than that. Okay.